We honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
The Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
Number 7, Jamie Chambers. Number 8, Harry Perry. Number 9, Finn Sykes. 10, Josh Simpson-Pink. 11, Jesse Lynch-Groot. 12, Andrew Hopkins. 13, Ben Stringer. 14, Joe Cole. 15, Will Monks. 17, Tomas Rosser. 18, Will Graham. 19, Owen Edwards. 20, Paul Simpson. 21, Alex Williams. 22, Callan Stevens. 23, Joe Harris. 24, Stephen Harris. For Ireland, players are number 1, Jack Doherty. Number 2, Rory Dunbar. Number 3, Sean Wiseman. 4, Aidan Dempsey. 5, Matt Palmieri. 6, Kevin Somerville. 7, Pat McShane. 11, Sean Holland. 12, Jack Songer. 18, Connor Foley. 19, Luke Maloney. 20, Liam Horkin. 21, Liam Walker. 24, Connor Shears. 25, James Fennessy. 27, Kieran Costello. 40, Patrick Brosnan. 42, Patrick Corbett. 44, Brendan Forrest. 51, Joe Walsh. 77, Gavin Conlon. 91, Patrick Smith.
Once again, welcome to Wrocław, Poland for the 2025 European Men's Lacrosse Championship on Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV. Today, a tremendous matchup inside of Group C that should determine who advances into the quarterfinals out of this group and essentially cements their place in the 2027 World Championships in Japan. 1-0 Wales will take on 1-0 Ireland in a matchup certainly between nations and territories that has centuries of history. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Ralph Bjornchik alongside Marty Horkin. So happy to have you with us here from Wrocław. It's kind of United Kingdom type weather, Welsh-like weather, talking to Wales coach Dan Fennell. Very overcast. It rained this morning, and we're playing on a grass field. Two teams playing lopsided games. Wales 16-4 over Sweden. Ireland 13-2 over Croatia. Marty, we expect a war.
I'll tell you, in talking to both of the teams, these are both the 2 top teams in this group. Really expecting great things today. Should be a fun contest. Can't wait to get underway.
Ireland in the white on white. Wales in the familiar forest green on green. Opening face-off, Jack Hallett. Tremendous day 2 days ago against Sweden, where he dominated about 85%. Rory Dunbar, the top face-off man for Ireland, for Coach Matt Curran. Coach Dan Fennell of Wales, and we're underway. This one might get decided on the wings. Dunbar had the first crack at it, but it'll be Hallett that comes away. Hallett then had it trail checked away from Patrick McShane. Behind the long pole, Mady and McShane will push, and Ireland looks like they'll come up with the first possession. In goal for Wales, Aaron Davey didn't have to do a whole lot with his team dominating possession against Sweden. That will likely not be the case here. The starters for Ireland. The first midfield would be with Aidan Dempsey, Jack Doherty, and Kevin Somerville. And on the attack, it starts with Connor Foley, 18, who's their leading scorer over several tournaments, Liam Horkin, and Patrick Corbett. And for Wales, the long pole Mady, the very rangy Owen Edwards, with Andrew Hopkins, Finn Sykes, and Harry Perry, who particularly put the clamps on Sweden's top attackman, Kevin Powers, holding him to just 2 goals and an assist. Swung near side. This is, again, a grass field, so we'll see how it'll hold up and how things will occur within the bounce shots. That has been among the topics of conversation among coaches coming into games here, particularly as it receives some rain. Flip pass by Foley. Swung for Aidan Dempsey. And Dempsey has the D-Mady and Jack Hallett. Dempsey, cross cage, in tight, and the shot missed. Shooting with his right hand that time was Patrick Corbett. Did not have much of an angle, and Wales will take over. Davey will look to start the clear, and Wales will look to get into their attack that was mighty efficient. They have great depth and versatility. 1 through 22. Dan Fennell feeling ahead of this tournament. Our drive and our strength is our determination. Then our roster, we may not have a superstar, but 1 through 22, our players are fairly close. Finn Sykes, Davy, a relaxed ride shown by Ireland of the first possession. And Davy will make the connection across for Finn Sykes. And now Wales to go to work with Josh Simpson-Pink coming off of a big game against the Swedes. With Ben Stringer and Alex Williams, a lefty. The first midfield, Joe Harris, Tomo Rosser, and James Tiley. And in goal for the Irish is Joe Walsh, off of a very good career in the States at Colorado College. Harris swings for Tiley. Defensively for Ireland, the long pole midi, Patrick McShane, with James Fennessy, Brendan Forst, Patrick Smith are the defenders. And a takeaway by the Irish, and here's Aidan Dempsey. Marty, the subplots to this one are vast. From a Wales perspective, there is something burning in them, as always in any sport, to try to beat Ireland. Even if this Irish team does not have anybody from Ireland, it's all heritage players, second and third generation players.
I would actually have to correct that. Rory Dunbar is from Ireland, and also too is Maloney as well. Luke Maloney was born in Sligo,
I see.
so he is. So there are two guys. I was actually talking to some of the players and did sort of gather that information today. So they do have two folks that were born on the island of Ireland. Possibly three. One of the guys plays in Canada as well.
Liam Horkin here for Connor Foley. Foley, natural lefty, takes the righty shot. Foley with a speed dodge across. He got a little bit of separation from Finn Sykes to start the scoring.
And that's something that you see from Foley. That's sort of his bread and butter move right there. He sort of tries to get towards the middle of the field, dodges hard towards that strong, dominant right hand, and a nice little shot. That's what Connor Foley does. One thing I've noticed with Connor Foley is he's got a motor that doesn't stop. He rides tenaciously, and that's just an example right there of his scoring prowess.
Foley appearing in Limerick in 2022 as a member of the U21 squad. Started his career at Division I UMass Lowell before transferring to UMass. And he was the leading scorer for the team in Limerick. Face-off win. Taking both is Hallett, but then Hallett loses it. And despite 2-0 in face-offs, it's going to be where Ireland gets called for the loose ball push. So Wales will keep possession.
The player was disadvantaged there, and the ball will go the other way to Wales. I was looking for them maybe to call a playing without right there because the player lost his stick, but if he didn't impede anybody else's progress, they didn't make that call, which was correct for them.
Two comfortable wins from each team. This one expects to be decided late and to be very physical. Wales swings for Tiley and then Stringer. Wales was very efficient and impressive. They dominated possession against the Swedes on Thursday. Dan Fidel happy that his entire roster was able to contribute. Here's Josh Simpson-Pink. Swing for Tiley as he looks for the jump shot, and a good active stick by Brendan Forst just to probe and get into the passing lane or into shooting lane, so the backup belongs here with Stringer. Stringer fights off Forst, and a reset for Wales. No shot clock in the international game yet. It'll begin in 2027. Joe Walsh in goal from Coronado, California, graduating from Colgate. Was an economics major. A takeaway on a strip, and Ireland able to turn over Wales again. And the ground ball picked up for the Irish and Patrick Smith. Transition opportunity, shot on the move. Davy makes the save on Sean Holland, the D-mini. However, Davy trying to spark transition, cannot make the connection. And finally, out of traffic, Owen Edwards will maneuver it back.
You can already see a little bit of slipping out there as the field's getting wet. Holland, who cleared that ball right there, you notice his athleticism. He actually was a collegiate football player, American football back in the States. He played for a couple of different schools. He played for Fordham. He was a quarterback, and he also went to UCLA with his extra year that he had during COVID.
Wales with Will Monks coming on. It's a full second unit of attackmen, or a full second midfield that Wales could run. Still scoreless. Or check that rather, 1-0 on the Connor Foley goal. Wales has been held scoreless. Tomo Rosser. And the trail check from behind, and again, that's good work by Sean Holland. So Ireland has been able to make Wales uncomfortable here in this first quarter. Joe Walsh to start the clear. He had joined Ireland in August of 2019 for tryouts for the U21s. He can trace his lineage back to Counties Cork, Galway through 3 great-grandparents.
And on the clear right there, that was Jack Doherty, and you'll notice he has those yellow cleats that he wears. And he said, other than the fact that he also played at Skidmore, which has yellow in it, he said he wears them so his grandmother can pick him out on the telecast. So let's hope that she's watching today.
Sweep across by Corbett. On the pickup, Liam Horkin. Foley. And then Foley fights off Owen Edwards. And that'll be the primo matchup here today, Marty. How will Wales be able to contain the speed and the two-handed abilities of Connor Foley? Among the questions Wales will have to answer. There's a save made on the hard step down in tight from Patrick Corbett by Davey.
And that's Patrick Corbett. He's the wily veteran on this team. He's a Lehigh product. He's one of the older and more experienced players in the team, and he's crafty on that crease. Nice look by Patrick.
Dempsey with Rosso in there defending. Foley starts his face dodge from in tight, but then the recovery. Edwards getting some assistance from Andrew Hopkins. Connor Foley graduating from Division I UMass Amherst in 2024, where he was a graduate student and played in 2023 there after 3 years at UMass Lowell. And he is a native of Walpole, Mass. And on target, in tight, Ireland gets a second goal, 2-0.
Jack Doherty on that. That was a nice take from X. There was really no help there. He sort of beat his man one-on-one, turned the corner. Nice bounce shot past the goalie for Jack Doherty. He also played in Limerick in 22 as well.
At 2-0 Ireland, they have turned over Wales a couple of times. Jack Doherty hailing from Garden City, New York at Lacrosse Power. And coming out of Skidmore. Played at Chaminade High School for Jack Moran from the Moran family. Nephew of the great Richie Moran. Richie Moran was the founder and president of the Irish national team. Richie Moran passing away in April of 22 at the age of 85. He was the 29-year head coach at Cornell. As Wales will come up with a clear. And now Dan Fennell will talk it over here with 4:06 remaining, opening quarter, 2-0 Ireland. Mainly, I think here, Marty, to discuss how his team can get more efficient and get better looks on the offensive end. While they've had possessions, but they've been turned over at least the last 3.
Yeah, I mean, on the positive, he can look to the face-off X. They're doing a great job, winning the draws, coming up with the ground balls, and they've been very patient in their clearing game, which, I've noticed. Nice thing with international play is there's no clearing counts. You don't have to get it over the midfield line in any specific time frame, so they can sort of hold back, be patient. They've done a nice job with that, but I would imagine that he's sort of drawing something up to try to get a strong possession here and maybe try to get a goal in the remaining minutes of this first quarter.
It was a comfortable win. 16-4 over Sweden. For Wales, they were able to play their full roster, but this was certainly the game circled coming into this one and would decide Group C. The top 7 out of the 24 playing nations in these European Lacrosse Championships will play in the Worlds in Japan in 2 years. And the winner of this game with the other 2 nations here in Croatia and Sweden, both having lost lopsided games to these two. So this is likely the group championship game. And the winners of the 5 groups get automatic bids into, well, they finish in the top 5, but into the quarterfinals of this tournament, which therefore means you're definitely going to be in the top 7, which means there is so much at stake here in this 60 minutes of action to determine what will occur in 2 years from now.
Yeah, all these teams looking to stamp their ticket to get to Japan in 27.
And now a turnover. Let's see, was there an offsides coming out of the timeout? 1, 2, 3. Hold on a moment. Now our officials blow it dead.
They're coming together here.
But that was a Wales timeout used, and they had possession. 4 officials work each of these European Men's Lacrosse Championships, including a 4th official over by the box. So that's why we've seen a lot of sideline infractions compared to many of the players in their home countries not necessarily having that. Typical club game will have 2 officials at most in all of those club games, or university games if they play in England in Bucks in most of those regular season games. So our officials break. They do not make a signal.
So they're going to keep it with Wales. They're pointing now.
So Wales does keep it. Counting them up quickly, Wales have only 6. That would be a very unusual foul to commit coming out of your own timeout. So Wales has it with Josh Simpson-Pink.
And normally, I'm not sure how it works internationally, but being an official back in North America, it's incumbent on the officials to make the count. They don't start the play until both teams have, the proper players. Generally, you'll say to someone, hey, let's get off the field, let's get your 6, but you do never know. Oh, it's nice.
There is Rosser to start the scoring for Wales. Tomo Rosser with a PhD, or pursuing a PhD. He's got a master's. Rosser in this tournament said it's unusual because he's not facing off much and does not expect to. With the emergence of Jack Hallett, he in past tournaments for Wales has been a first-line midi and a face-off man. So he could be, as we joked with him afterwards a couple of days ago, he may not need to shower after these games since he's not facing off and running first midfield anymore.
I'd say that was a really nice take that he had there and a strong bounce shot. If you notice, that ball sort of skimmed and it almost beat Joe Walsh top shelf on that, so it was sort of a nice bouncer. Excellent shot.
Hallett to face off with Rory Dunbar. And a hold is called against Dunbar of Ireland. So Hallett has separated himself. Wales, though, has turned it over a couple of times in the immediate aftermath of a face-off. And Wales looking for the equalizer. Nearing 2 minutes left, opening quarter. Clock is a continuous clock. It only stops inside the final 30 seconds of each quarter. Final 2 minutes of the fourth. And another takeaway. Patrick McShane, the ground ball. And while Wales has had possessions, they've turned it over a bunch. And the transition from James Fennessy.
And one thing with Patrick McShane is he's been a ground ball machine. He usually works the wing on the face-offs. And last game he must have had nearly doubled the ground balls. He's excellent. He's a University of Texas club product. Texan himself. Parents, got a chance to meet them yesterday, both from the north. Lovely people.
Ireland will sub to the midfield. Doherty with Kevin Somerville. Somerville hailing from Baltimore, Maryland. As Foley is closest to it on the backup. 1:13 left, so we'll see if Ireland may hold and play for the final shot. Foley turning the corner. Foley to continue. Foley all the way. Connor Foley with his second. 3-1 Ireland.
That again is sort of that, like I said, Connor Foley loves to get to that dominant right hand, and they had a little pick game going on. Wales had a nice switch, but then often when Foley has a short stick on him, that sometimes is the result, but he ran through about 3 or 4 bodies, and a nice shot by Foley to finish.
Connor can trace his lineage back to his grandmother from County Clare, grandfather from Galway, and many relatives in Kerry County. (3-1) Ireland, despite Wales having the possession advantage. This time Dunbar pushes it back, and McShane will swoop in for the win. Final 20 seconds, short time for Ireland. Horkin back for Patrick Brosnan, who checks in. Foley with short time, and offsides is called on Ireland here in the final seconds with 11 seconds remaining. Clock restarts. Well, they let it run for a little bit. Rosser will heave it ahead. Stringer might get a look. He did.
Got a good look.
They'll need to reset the clock on the far side. Perhaps there is a second or two remaining. So Joe Walsh will heave it right to the other end, and that I think that's going to be all. They attempted to reset the clock and get it back to where it was, but we'll call that the end of the first quarter. Connor Foley with a couple of goals to lead Ireland. A matchup that will likely determine the winner of Group C. Ireland leads Wales 3-1 after one on Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV. Start of the second quarter, 3-1 Ireland. And the headline game of Group C from the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championships. Ralph Bednarczyk alongside Marty Horkin. Face-off win. This is the cleanest one for Jack Hallett. So the good news for Wales, it appears that they could count on a face-off advantage. But can they be efficient on this end? They've gotten a face dodge goal here from this man, Tomo Rosser, as their lone tally. Otherwise, Ireland has turned them over consistently and just caused them havoc.
That face-off advantage can be a major thing, game changer near the end of a game where you can sort of, if you're trailing, you can sort of make it, take it, get a few goals, or you can sit on the ball if you win the face-off. So it's a great advantage to have. And he's been really strong today, Jack Hallett.
Alex Williams. Williams losing his defender. Cross cage pass. Oh, it deflects off of the defender. Alex Williams will get credit for the goal. That went actually off of the active stick of Patrick McShane. A fortunate break for Wales. It's 3-2.
In soccer terms, that would be called the own goal right there. You know, looking for that skip pass, got deflected in the cage. There's not a lot you can do about it. If I were coaching, I'd tell, you know, Joe Walsh, who's been around, you know, forget about that one. There's nothing you can do about that. For 2 in his bounce.
Now Rory Dunbar to try to solve Hallett in the X. And they'll get a loose ball push on McShane.
Stop it. Look at this. Flag on the play.
And multiple flags coming out. Obviously, the officials know coming in what an Ireland versus Wales game means in terms of undertones and subplots in any sport, not just men's lacrosse. So they're quickly able to nip that in the bud. Rory Dunbar goes in the box. There are 2 flags. Let's see if they get a second player from Wales.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct was the...
And no Wales player heading into the box, so they only get Dunbar, so which means we have our first man up of this game. Wales looking for the tie. Tiley will start up top, and Williams there, 21, a natural lefty. And we also see Paul Simpson, the veteran, 45 years old, but a tremendous player with vision. There he is, and the all-time international leading scorer in Wales history. But he, at this point, still very, very effective on the man up and in certain spots. Simpson Pink, look down low for Williams, and the breakup again by the Irish, but the follow-up pick up from Simpson Pink.
Again, that was that active stick by the chain.
So Simpson Pink swings for Stringer. Stringer then will fire, and this is off of the helmet of James Fennessy. Then Walsh recovers. And somehow it came out of his cross and it goes in. One official signaled goal, but was play called dead. So another important conference. Did anybody interfere with Walsh while he had the ball in his stick in the crease? Or was that as part of a maybe quick attempt at a clear by Walsh that then had it ricochet back in?
Yeah, the crew chief's getting a little conversation there, trying to hear what they saw. There's a flag on the play.
Interference is called, 30 seconds. On Alex Williams of Wales. So he interfered with Walsh, no goal. That's why the ball went in. So Walsh has a right in his crease to control the ball. So we'll have a brief 5-on-5, and then Ireland will have a very brief man up. That might last only a couple of seconds.
I notice on that save there that Walsh, the footing was looking a little bit slippery down there. He sort of, you know, little shaky on the footing. It looks like it's getting muddy in those creases. Something to keep an eye on for the rest of the game. This field is definitely absorbing some water, and they're slipping a little bit.
Third full day of these European Lacrosse Championships. Everybody expecting, of course, the face-off X at midfield and in front of both goals to start to get really choppy soon. Room and time for the rip, and able to see it well is Davey. That was a good step down there for Connor Foley. He did have his own man in front. And a big stop for Wales, 5-on-5. Now we're all even 6-on-6. Foley to try to flush Davey out.
Again, Wales showing patience in their clearing game.
Perry able to make the connection with Owen Edwards. Wales with a comfortable clear. And back to work through Joe Harris. Harris among many for Wales that had big days against Sweden. 3-2 Ireland. Alex Williams a goal. An own goal really to start the scoring here. Little draw and dump Stringer. His shot partially blocked. Wales with backup, and they'll quickly resume. Jamie Chambers, the fourth attackman, is on. Number 7, he's a natural lefty. Dan Fennell really can roll out 6 consistently. And looking for matchups. Now Tiley to try to take on Holland. Tiley to drop off Stringer. Is quickly retreating out of his spot, defended by 44 in Brendan Forst, who played 3 years at Harvard. Now off the pickup, Harris. As Harris probes. Chambers with eyes to the front. Simpson Pink.
Very deliberate in their offense here, Wales. Just no rush.
Stringer. Then Stringer loses it. Ball raked ahead. Rosser pursues. And finally, it's going to belong to Ireland with Kieran Costello. And Costello will go back to Walsh. And Ireland is able to stop Wales. A long possession, but Wales does not get a shot off. Now transition for the Irish. And a drop-off comes into Liam Horkin. Across, and Ireland gets a break on a goal. 4-2 Ireland.
Nice little transition right there. It started with the active sticks, the defensive end of the ball, and a nice little goose and ground ball pickup. Ireland pushed the transition right there. It's funny, I thought Horkin thought about shooting, then he found the trailer. Nice goal right there by Holland. Again, Holland, he's a New Hampshire product out of Londonderry. His parents, Jerry and Michelle, are here in Wrocław. And again, that athlete, defensive midfielder. I was talking to his dad, he never has been a defensive midfielder, but he's sort of, he's been a little bit removed from his playing career. He played, American football in college, and he's done a great job with that.
A 1-minute slash also issued after the goal on Wales. So this is a face-off 3-on-2, and an important one for Hallett. The uncontested wing, Luke Maloney, and the pickup from Matt Palmieri. So Ireland able to add the goal to make it 4-2, and now they'll get almost a full 1-minute man up.
That was a crucial face-off win for Ireland, because had Wales won that face-off like they have won most, they could have sat on that ball and maybe killed the penalty. Now Ireland will get a chance to see their man-up unit here.
First man up for Ireland. They bring in Patrick Brosnan.
Brosnan's out of Bryant University. Great play.
Davey intercepts the adjacent pass. He tries to cheap clear it ahead. And under pursuit, Brendan Forst finally is Walsh out of cage. So Ireland will get it back. Still time remaining on the 1-minute slash. But what anticipation from Aaron Davey to intercept the pass to GLE. A telegraph pass. And now we're all even. The jump shot goes, and that's side. Hold on, nope, that's not side netting. That'll be a goal for Ireland.
That was really nice. That great play by Wales. The goalkeeper, sort of threw it up the field, but bodies were falling down on the Ireland defensive end. Joe Walsh made a great play, and then a clear to the transition. Connor Foley on the finish.
Now Foley goes to the jump shot with his third. Wales was seconds away from balancing up, and Ireland now with its largest lead at 3. Hallett will come out of traffic with the face-off. And retreats from Foley, and he's ridden up the line, and now Hallett is going to be able to draw a flag, and then a timeout is also granted, just as Rory Dunbar was about to force Hallett out.
They're gonna go with the
Let's see if the flag occurred before the timeout. It's a 1-minute slash.
So they got Foley on that trail check. He threw that one-hander.
And then a second penalty for 30 seconds. I think a push with possession in addition on Rory Dunbar. Foley was the trail player with the slash. Now the timeout is granted to Wales. And a golden opportunity, Marty Horkin, for Wales to get themselves back into it. They'll have a 6-on-4 for 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is a big offensive possession. That's a really smart timeout by Wales as well. It's one of those things in international play. You have to sub through the box even though there's a flag situation. So you want to get all that, and the time starts when the offending player sits in that chair. So they wanted to get the whole time. They have a 1-minute penalty on a slash, 30 on a push. So for the next 30 seconds, they will be 2-men up. You know, and generally good things happen from an offensive perspective when you have that. So I'm hoping, looking for them to sling the ball around, find a skip pass, and hopefully they can try to get a little bit closer here.
Wales has been held to 2 goals. One of them, they got great fortune on a deflected pass by Alex Williams that went into the goal. So there's only really been one they've been able to generate through their offense, Tomo Rosser, making it 2-1. And now a man up, perhaps to try to unlock this Irish defense that has been aggressive and active with sticks. The four poles of Patrick Smith, Brendan Forst, James Fennessy on low D, and the pole, Patrick McShane. And each of them has already made a play of some kind, a play of havoc in front of goalie Joe Walsh.
Looks like they're putting in Palmieri. That's one of those poles. Great opportunity here for Wales. Anytime you have a 2-man advantage, you expect to score.
Wales will start just outside the box. Big moment in this first half. Williams, then he'll take the shot, it's blocked, and perhaps a bit ill-advised. He might have liked the angle and the distance, but that wasn't going to be a layup in any capacity. And now the transition opportunity for Brendan Forst, who's ridden hard, but a flag is out this time against Wales and Tiley. So Wales is 1 and done on the 6-on-4.
And now will be 5-on-5 because the 30-second penalty has been released. That's going to be a 1 minute on a trip. So we'll be all even 5-on-5 here. That's unfortunate for Wales. They might have taken a shot a little early in the, they didn't cycle the ball too much, like you said. The angle may or may not have been there. Nice stop deflection / save by Joe Walsh, and Ireland now will be in a 5-on-5 situation. Won't need to kill the penalty. And as they kill this, they'll end up going man up for a short period near the end of it. Well, right now, actually.
4:45 remaining as Ireland comes out of essentially a bunched formation coming out of the timeout, or out of the stoppage, communicating as they run out. As the skip comes outside for Kevin Somerville, Brosnan. The last goal by Foley came just in the tail end of an Ireland man up. Foley, and then Foley lost it. The recovery.
Corbett with the ground ball.
As a pass came in front, Owen Edwards had the initial breakup. It's picked up by Liam Horkin. Unsettled situation. Davey makes the save on Kevin Somerville. Teams are all even. It stays 5-2 as Wales gets a necessary stop in what could have been a dangerous moment. After failing on their own man up, they are able to hold the fort and keep it at just 3. And now Rosser unsettled. Rosser to Cage. And back up with Ben Stringer.
Yeah, Horkin had that nice ground ball, moved it off the turf, and Corbin had it. Nice chance for Ireland.
Nearing 3 minutes to go in this opening half. Possessions have been at a premium. Feed for Harris, and well anticipated there by Holland. As Joe Harris is able to recover, he plays for the Timperley Lacrosse Club, his 4th international tournament, going back to 2018 in Israel, and now Holland makes the clean takeaway.
Excellent play by Holland right there. He's so athletic.
Holland will drop it off for Liam Horkin. 2:40 to play. Oh, a wide open player and a goal.
Brosnan.
Patrick Brosnan was by himself. No one picked him up for Wales as he ran on. 6-2 Ireland.
Yeah, Patrick Brosnan, no one found him. He had a wide open lane to the net, caught it, moved the goalie with a fake, and finished over his left shoulder. Brosnan lives in the Boston area now, as most of the young people like to. He lives in Southie. Play on.
Hallen on the face-off. They'll call the hold on Dunbar. Wales has given the offense possessions, but can the offense do anything with it? It's been a low shooting percentage. It's been turnovers. Patrick Corbett, by the way, on the assist to find Brosnan to make it 6-2. Simpson Pink, as he plays in his first international tournament for Wales. And now we have another flag against Ireland. So Ireland has given Wales plenty of opportunities to get back in the game. And a 30-second push with possession will be called against Ireland. That's Patrick Smith heading off. So here's Simpson Pink. Growing up in England, playing for the Malore Lacrosse Club. Played for England under 21s. Also in the Euros in 18. And this shot by Simpson Pink is wide, but he's very talented. Simpson Pink finally getting healthy after the last couple of international tournaments. Saw him not close to 100%. Simpson.
All even.
No shots yet for Wales, and then this bouncer by Tiley is wide. Now the shots have just not been on target. None in the painted area, the so-called painted area in front of goal for Wales. Credit to this Irish defense. The restart for Joe Harris. Harris a skip. Williams, and that's a good look for Alex Williams. Among the better shooting spots that Wales has had in this first half. 6 seconds to go, short time. Chambers trying to get top side. Chambers, that's it for the first half. Ireland gets another stop, a microcosm of what's taken place here on this field in Wrocław. Ireland has been opportunistic. Wales has won the face-off battle, and they've had possessions, but a very low shooting percentage. And then loads of caused turnovers by the Irish have made it a 6-2 game for Ireland, leading Wales in this matchup of the two favorites in Group C. Connor Foley leading the way with 3 goals to lead Ireland. We'll step away for 10 minutes and be back on Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV from Wrocław, Poland. You're watching the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championship.
honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
The Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
As we start the third quarter from Wrocław, Poland, it's 6-2 Ireland leading Wales in this key game in Group C. Winner would have more than the inside track to get out of this group and finish in the top 5, which would be an automatic bid into the 2027 World Lacrosse Championships. They'll be hosted in Japan in 2027. Loser would not necessarily be out, but their path would be much more difficult. Face-off win, Rory Dunbar cleanly from Jack Hallett, and that is a revelation for the Irish. Hallett has commanded the face-off X. Ireland, though, has been able to turn him over a couple times immediately after. So the possessions have not been as lopsided as the numbers could indicate. Meanwhile, Connor Foley, 18 and white. He's got 3 goals. But the story could be the team defense of Ireland. They have just prevented Marty Horkin lanes to shoot, quality opportunities, and just Wales being comfortable in the totality of that first half.
Yeah, Ireland was pushing out defensively. They've had really active sticks, knocking down passes, scooping up ground balls on first chances. So that's been the story defensively for Ireland. It's been great keeping Wales' offense down.
Foley outside, and then for Dan Fennell as Foley slips down. Ball to ground, and here comes Rosser. And Rosser with a peek behind him. Rosser will aim for the clear. It was a penalty-marred opening half. Both teams with numerous man-up opportunities. And Foley will finally jar it free from Rosser. Rosser tries to save it. Looking for a flag anywhere.
Foley did go over. It appears they didn't keep someone back.
Well, now I see a flag on the far side of the field, Marty Horkin. So Ireland appears, yes, Ireland is going to have a man in the box sent. Kevin Somerville will take this penalty, so too many men. They were offside, so that's a real break for Wales, and yet another opportunity for Coach Dan Fennell's bunch. Quickly, what do you think Coach Fennell talked to his team in the extended 10-minute halftime, certainly in regards to his offense?
Yeah, I would say that, just first of all, I'd say they have to get some balls to the net at some point. A lot of their shooting has been missing the mark, sort of off to the side. They haven't tested Joe Walsh all that much, so I think they want to keep that ball hot. And then they have to sort of, pass and dodge. They can't look to do individual play. They have to sort of look for some off-ball movement. But they do want to get some balls to the net and test Joe Walsh. Now, Joe Walsh is a very competent goalie. But again, with this wet surface, throwing a bounce shot, skimming it a little bit, you never know what you're going to get with that bounce. You notice a lot of the teams, both the teams have been shooting low quite a bit here because you do never know. It could bounce high, it could skim.
The timeout was granted to Wales anyway. So Wales has had plenty of these in the offensive end where they've taken a timeout and then can regroup. They have a 30-second man up here, and another important one. Ralph Bjornchuk alongside Marty Horkin. 6-2 game, and Ireland has been on the verge a couple times of truly separating. Even now at 4 goals, it feels like a lot to overcome Matt Curran's defense of Ireland. He's the head coach at the Robinson Secondary School in Virginia. That's his alma mater. He later played Division I lacrosse at Rutgers University. Later in school for the great Tom Hayes. Wales comes out.
And this will be a 30-second man up for Wales. They really want to get something going with this. That's an early timeout, too. I mean, you only get 2 timeouts per half in lacrosse. They took one, only a little over a minute into this half. It just shows the importance that they have for this. They want to get the full 30 seconds. I think they probably called it because they thought their player was in trouble, but they will look to convert on this man up, which they've had difficulty doing.
Let's go!
So here's Paul Simpson to start. Williams also lefty, both on this near right side. Can Wales get a quality look? An early man up, third quarter. Wales trails 6-2. Simpson has a cutter. There's the opening. Simpson Pink is denied. Walsh the save. Battle for the ground ball. Still time. Simpson Pink recovers. A bit on sell. Simpson Pink splits a pair of defenders, and then he could not get the clean shot off. We're all even. Ireland looks to balance up, and they do. We're back to 6-on-6. Feed across, Harris makes the catch, and then his shot blocked by the body of McShane. Walsh will scoop and shovel along to Patrick McShane, and Ireland escapes two pretty good looks, including a great look for Simpson Pink. And that is one Wales might think about later.
Yeah, that was a big save by Joe Walsh right there, marking that one down. That was a big save by Walsh. Another great defensive stand there, and the ground ball by McShane. He said his name quite a bit with the ground balls. Excellent job defensively on a couple of good looks by Wales as well, though.
Now the onus on this Welsh defense to come up big. They have done just enough of the job holding Ireland to 6. Dempsey swings, Jack Doherty. And Doherty slipping down, lost an edge. Owen Edwards the pickup. And the swing across from Harry Perry from the Hillcroft Lacrosse Club, who's played well. This is his first tournament after going to Poland and not being able to play last year due to a torn ACL. Perry has looked very good, matching up yesterday against Kevin Powers, one of the top attackmen in the tournament, who will be Sweden's leading scorer.
Nice defensive stand there by Wales. Excellent ground ball and a clear. They'll just settle things up and try to put one on the board here.
Chambers. Plenty of lefties available for Wales on the attack. That's not an issue. Quick feed inside. Chambers denied on the short side by Walsh. Well, two better looks for Wales in this third quarter, but still nothing to show for it. And now they try to ride hard, and they're going to commit the foul. Out of traffic, Matt Palmieri. Could be a slash coming. That was Simpson Pink in a heavy ride. Foley and Ireland with a free shot. Foley a throwback, then the return too high for him from Patrick Corbett. And now Ireland will go man up here with a little bit over 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, leading 6-2.
There's a 1 minute slash to Wales. Ireland will have a 1 minute man up right here. Ball will start at the keeper's side right.
And that feed gets through the stick of Aiden Dempsey, and it'll be an over and back. So Ireland wastes the chance. You know, both teams battling the elements, battling each other. It's been a slick field after we had rain overnight. Not a hard rain, but steady enough where you can feel it. As Rosser will restart.
They'll look to kill this penalty here. They'll look to just take the rest of that probably 50 seconds or so off the clock. Ireland threw that one away pretty early in their man up.
And they love to get Simpson Pink back on. It was a 1 minute slash. Rosser probes. And now we are all even, but a turnover on Wales. I did not catch a signal anywhere. We are all even.
I thought maybe there might have been a ward in it. It was close, but I'm not sure.
Now, Rosser was the one handling, unless Wales happened to go offside too quickly and turned it over after they were waiting for the time to come off the Simpson Pink penalty. In any event, Ireland back with possession, and we remain where we started, 6-2 Ireland at the break. It was a 3-1 Ireland lead at the end of one. Liam Walker on. Again for Ireland, 21 in white. Brosnan takes the left-hand look. Ireland having backup. Meanwhile, if you're Matt Curran coaching this Ireland team, you've gotten 3 goals from Foley. Skip over the top, but now they continue to turn it over.
Great play.
See if it'll be an over and back. It stays in.
That's an excellent play right there.
That was the defenseman on this end, Patrick Smith, that kept it alive for Ireland. And we'll see if the Irish can pay it off.
I was certain that was going for we might have another over and back potentially here. Some of them.
This time off the box out, Williams was pushed across by Wales. And indeed, a push is called on Ireland. Alex Williams of Wales did go over, but that is 2 overthrows by Ireland on offense on that possession after just turning it over with an unforced error on the previous man up.
Sometimes these wet conditions, those sticks can sort of bag out. Your stick doesn't work as effectively as you would like it to.
And again, you see players slipping. Will Monks able to keep possession. And now a flag is down. And Ireland is offsides.
Yep, they had 7 over.
And Marty, we're watching a game where both teams are trying to hand it to one another. Neither one wants to seize it and take it.
No, there have been some sloppiness going on here. The field's a little bit sloppy. There's a lot of falling down. We've had plenty of man-up, man-down opportunities here. And a lot of them are these little offsides or sort of 30-second pushes. Haven't really big, sort of penalties, but again, just man-up opportunity again for Wales.
Last man up, they got a great shot from Simpson Pink. Paul Simpson fires, and again, active stick by Smith. Ireland just does not give you windows, and then winning the race to the end line is Kieran Costello by himself.
And that's key right there. Not having a backup, that's a killer for Wales when you have that man-up opportunity. Nice active stick by Smith right there. Again, getting the deflection. It's been the story of the game defensively.
And we'd love to have a number of the amount of deflected passes or shots by Ireland's defense. But it is certainly a high number. And in a game where Wales may have to take to heart that you cannot hesitate if you're open and have a lane to take the shot. If you hesitate for a moment, the Irish defense and their poles are closing those windows maybe sooner than the Wales offensive players are used to. Aiden Dempsey to spread the field. Dempsey draws help, moves it over for Jack Songer, move to the backside. And now Brosnan, Patrick Corbett trying to get a brush screen. And I think ward-off is called on Patrick Corbett. It was very subtle, but the official was right in front of him watching.
He had the 2 hands on the stick right there. I thought he moved the stick, which would have been legal, but they're saying that he moved the defender's body, so that will be the ward call.
Wales able to stay onside.
That was close. They did a good job. The official was right on it, though.
Simpson Pink. And Wales continues to search for an area that they can dodge, an individual they can dodge against. Harris with the help coming backside from Smith. Tiley on Holland. Tiley from an angle, and that's too easy for a lefty goalie in Walsh. He makes the save to the stick side. The outlet successful to Aiden Dempsey. Dempsey from Silver Spring, Maryland. Finishing up his career at Ohio Northern, majoring in civil engineering as the jump shot from Dempsey goes wide. Backup will keep it here with Ireland in the midst of a scoreless third quarter.
Yeah, Dempsey he's an experienced international player. He played at the Under-20 World championships for Ireland in Limerick. He was also in San Diego, so this would be his third major international tournament for him. When he gets that short, he played a bit of attack in college as well and historically, so when he gets that short stick, he's always looking to shoot. He's talking to his dad, Niall. He likes to shoot that ball. He's a good player, Dempsey.
They try to set a pin down screen. Jump pass by Liam Horkin. Smothered is Aiden Dempsey. Down low it comes, and the shot missed. Jack Doherty on the doorstep. Whistle blows, and I think he was in the crease. Flag is down.
If nothing else, that was a wonderful save right there. I mean, that was on the doorstep. There was time. He threw about 3 fakes, and he made that save.
Flag, I think, is going to be pushed with possession against Wales. So Ireland will keep possession. And another man up coming for the Irish with 2:33 showing here, third quarter, still 6-2.
Dempsey had a great play to come out of that. There was he sort of came between 2 defenders, found the open look on the crease. Great save.
Now Wales is supposed to have somebody in the box. Well, now they've picked up the flag. And now the official realizing, I think there's supposed to be a man up here for Ireland. So now our officials are going to have to conference again.
We had an incident like this in a game that I called the other day, and I spoke to the official after because I was on the commentary saying, why wasn't there a flag, someone serving the penalty? And he suggested that they had a second, in the other game, they had a second technical foul by the team that would have been advantage. So the 2 technicals wiped each other out. It may have been something like that here.
So no one in the box, 6-on-6. Ireland with possession. Aaron Davey was able to make a save. Paul Chapman defending as Chapman gets the breakup on Dempsey, and now we have a flag. And this one is going to be on Ireland. Well, Ireland with numerous opportunities to extend this lead. Wales with numerous chances to eat into it. It's Aiden Dempsey that gets called for a 30-second, I think, push with possession after Chapman made a good play defensively. Paul Chapman was also on the team in San Diego. And a valuable short stick D-midi.
I'll be interested to see how long this is. I thought I saw one of the officials signal a slash on that. It looked to be all stick, but you never know. Another man-up opportunity for Wales.
The third one while trailing 6-2 in this third quarter. Ball Simpson had the shot on the last one. Stringer now for the wing. Save is made. He got enough of it by Walsh. A rebound was available, but flying forward is Patrick McShane. Ireland gets the stop. Still some time to kill off. We're under 45 seconds in what has been a scoreless third quarter, mired by turnovers and penalties.
And an ever worsening field, I think, too, is playing a little bit of an impact for both teams as well. Penalty to Ireland has expired now, so they're all even.
Just running on is Patrick Brosnan, so Ireland can hold for the final shot, and what a devastating goal it could be for Wales. Here comes the cutter through in Brosnan.
Nice recovery by Wales there defensively.
Foley with 10 to make his move. Foley down GLE, taking the shot, it trickles through! Connor Foley with 4, with 6 seconds showing in the third quarter. That could be a backbreaker. Foley on the face dodge. This time, instead of sweeping across, made a step to his right, and then a long GLE. He was able to beat Finn Sykes, who could not recover, and Foley worked his way to the front.
And I think, you know, historically he does do that sweep towards the inside. He went under the defender right there, and that was a really nice take by Connor Foley. Short time, like you mentioned. That's a big goal for Ireland.
And a face-off will conclude the third quarter without an obvious possession. One goal is scored in the third, and it came with just 6 seconds remaining. Ireland separates further. It's 7-2. Ireland leading Wales in this pivotal Group C game, with the winner having all but secured the group into the quarterfinal stage, and with that would also secure a top 7 finish, guaranteeing them a spot in the 2027 World Lacrosse Championships in Japan. 7-2 as we head to the fourth from World Lacrosse TV and Lax TV. Rain is starting to maybe go to a light drizzle now in Wrocław, Poland. 7-2 is our score. Ralph Bjornchik alongside Marty Horkin. Ireland getting a goal with 6 seconds remaining in the third quarter to further increase the lead against Wales. And now being knocked down on the face-off. Facing off for the first time for Wales is their backup, Will Graham. And Graham is still able to win it from Rory Dunbar. That's the great news, Marty, for Wales. If they can find a way to get into some sort of an offensive rhythm, they can put together a run because of the Hallett presence.
Yes, they need to do that, and I would say that sooner the better for them. You know, we have one quarter play, great play right here.
Wales, though, turns it over, and a transition opportunity for Sean Holland, who's played very well. Holland shot off stick side made, save made by Aaron Davey. Looks over the top for Rosser, and then McShane will pick it up, who's played extremely well today.
Flag on the play right here. Kind of a slash.
They will point out slap on the shoulder by Josh Simpson-Pink. So a 1 minute man up immediately begins the fourth quarter for Ireland. Third quarter, I would say there was probably about 6 or 7 minutes worth of time of some sort of man up situation, and neither team would score on. So it's been a game lacking rhythm from both sides, but Ireland has done just enough. Connor Foley has 4 of the 7 goals.
This is a big man up right here for Ireland. If they can put one on the board, you know, that would put it to 8-2, and that's, in this type of weather, the way the game's been going, that's a big divide to have.
Cross cage and open was Dempsey, but the pass could not be completed. Kevin Somerville had the rip. It may have been deflected.
They're looking for a deflection. That was a nice little wheel that Ireland had on one side, then they looked for the backside to Dempsey. It was a nice look.
They say it was deflected, and it will be Wales possession.
Deflected off of White. Had that ball been on the money, that was a really nice look for Ireland. Dempsey was sitting on that backside.
Joe Harris spins through for the clear. Wales only has one timeout remaining, and now Harris turns it over, but it'll be another foul against Ireland. Patrick Smith knocking him down, and Smith is going to head to the box. And it's going to be a 30-second push with possession. So we'll see the man up for Wales here, Marty, probably for around the 8th time. They have nothing to show for it. Several of them have been of the 1-minute variety. And they have struggled either finding shooting lanes. They looked a little bit better in the third quarter. They got a decent, brief open look from Paul Simpson that was deflected. And then the big one, a save made midway through the third quarter on Josh Simpson-Pink by Joe Walsh when the score at the time was still 6-2.
And you mentioned there being several left-handed players. You might look for something like a left-handed wheel on that side, maybe just to get some motion. They need to get some motion with the ball, look for a skip pass, find a seam, and look to get something towards the cage.
Stringer skips it. Simpson able to take it in. Save made low by Walsh. That's as good of a look as Wales has had this entire half. And Walsh will loop it over the top and locate Forst.
Great save by Joe Walsh right there. It was a nice ball movement. The no-look pass was excellent. Froze the defense by Wales. But again, Walsh was equal to it with a nice save. Ireland will look to kill off this penalty, which I believe they have, and they'll go all even. So once again, nothing to show for the man up for Wales.
That's the headline of this game.
And I find some of these penalties, they haven't been the discipline variety of the big slash or the big things like that. There's been some pushes, in tough field, push.
Foley swings for Liam Horkin. Ends up onto the stick of Patrick Corbett. The return to Foley. Jack Doherty against Rosser. Forced down the alley. Now comes the cutter. This one deflecting. Liam Horkin was getting ready for the step down as it's saved from and over and back by Aiden Dempsey. And then his pass too high for Somerville, and Ireland gives it right back.
It is turnover city here.
The summary remains both teams trying to give the game to one another, but Ireland has done enough to have a 7-2 lead. The weather certainly playing a factor. A very overcast and cold day. The high today only expected to be 64. Temperatures were in the high 50s when we started. And the sun nowhere to be found. Good news for the depth of these teams. But it won't be hot enough where you're worrying about that and worrying about maybe overplaying your starters too much over the course of a tournament.
And the nice thing with this group is, I guess to a degree, is they all missed out on the game with Armenia. So in terms of rest and keeping the bodies fresh, they're playing every other day. They have fewer games in pool play than every other group, so that will help hopefully both teams if they were to move forward to the next round.
Chambers for Harris. Harris search for top side before he's cut off by Fennessy. Armenia had to pull out last minute. We had 5 groups scheduled. Armenia was scheduled to be in this group. They were going to have a pretty decent team before too many visa and passport issues. Another turnover by Wales. Pushing forward is Jack Doherty before he puts on the brakes.
He made a nice kick to himself right there, Jack Doherty, with those.
And another pass that sails, this time Dempsey overshoots Foley. So with 8.5 left, still enough time for Wales. And again, if they could get a goal or two, the way Jack Hallett has faced off there is a path for Wales to put together a comeback.
There is, especially when you have that. If you have an explosive offense and you're winning faceoffs, you can score multiple goals even in a minute. The problem is they haven't scored since the second quarter. They've had many man-up opportunities.
Davey surveyed his situation, knows he can cross. It's a Wales team that prides themselves in being entirely homegrown, but then this pass by Davey gets away from Stringer. So Ireland locked off on all the attackmen. Davey maybe had a chance to try to goal himself, as now Holland races in.
Time is definitely on Ireland's side at this point. They can sort of slow the ball down if they want. They can take a little air out of it. Timeout.
Matt Curran sensing the same thing with 7:32 showing. Ireland leading 7-2. It was a 3-1 game at the end of one quarter of play. But with each passing minute, the frustration of Wales has compounded. And over is the head coach in San Diego, Nick Hewitt, to talk to his defense, all the pressure that they'll be facing, and Dan Fennell coaching the offense there in the left huddle for Wales to try to find a way to get one and change their momentum. It's a Wales team that knows there is so much at stake here to face Ireland, a team that does not, that is full of players mainly with Irish heritage. Wales taking a lot of pride that they are players that have spent a lot of time together, dating back to tryouts back in September of 2024. Ireland will have possession in their offensive end, leading 7-2. Both teams will have just one more game remaining in pool play after this, and then go into the group stage. After a day off, Ireland will take on Sweden, and Wales has a game left with Croatia.
So Ireland can be deliberate with their offense now. They don't need to necessarily rush. They're up several goals here. And when you think about it too, I mean, Wales with all these man-up opportunities they've had, they have to, when they get the ball, they're going to have to push the net. They're going to have to score rather quickly here as time is working against them. And when you really look to it, I mean, of their two goals, one was a deflection that went in off of it was a skip pass that went in off of a defender's stick, and they had one really nice take. So they really have to get that offense rolling in the final minutes here.
Ireland out of the timeout, and they start with an open set. I'm sure Matt Curran reminded his team we might be one goal away from officially burying this game. Jack Songer. Then slipping down, Luke Maloney. And Paul Chapman comes up with a ground ball at his feet. Now Chapman will try to gain the sideline, and Chapman is able to tightrope the sideline. Rare transition chance perhaps, but that's off the stick of Owen Edwards. Then it's a loose ball. Chapman takes the shot as it went wide, but a flag is out.
Walsh, he cradled that ball out of his own stick, but there was a penalty on the play going against Wales.
The interference is called on Owen Edwards.
Still engaged with the players. Joe Walsh had possession of the ball, likely there. So it'll be a free clear to Ireland. They'll start with the ball at the center X. 30-second penalty.
And yet another play being a microcosm of Wales' afternoon. They got the rare transition chance. And Edwards' shot going wide. Otherwise, this game has been played entirely in the half field. Conditions have certainly not helped. Horkin with the latest Ireland man. Up, Foley stings it. 5 for Connor Foley. And that might be the one that makes it official. 8-2 Ireland.
And that's a nice look. They moved the ball. They got it backside. Horkin found Foley for the shot. That's a play we actually saw in a previous man up, but it deflected or went, the couple times they've had that where Ireland thrown it back court there for an over and back, so they're able to hammer that one home. Now they're up by 6.
Will Graham to face off for Wales. And the call will be against Hallett. So Rory Dunbar got better position. And Ireland with the ball, under 5 minutes left. Clock will only stop under 2 minutes on any whistle. Wales has 1 timeout remaining, and Ireland in the midst of a shutout in the second half. They've gotten 2 second half goals from Connor Foley just to extend a little bit. But in these international tournaments where you're playing, at least not in the cases of these teams, but for most other teams, you're playing back-to-back days, 4 out of 5. It can just be about survive in advance. Dempsey shoots wide. You may not play well. You might play your best in the very final couple of days. You hope to play well early, but that's usually not the case. You have players flying in from all over. And the teams that value being together and knowing one another hope to be starting off at a greater starting point than the others. There is a quick shot. Liam Horkin from Kevin Somerville. And Ireland pouring it on. It's 9-2 with about 3.5 to play.
That was, again, nice ball movement by Ireland. Somerville finds Liam Horkin on the backside, and the big lefty stings that corner. Connecticut College, Camel right there. Shout out to all the Camels watching at home.
Nice find by Kevin Somerville, who threaded the needle with the pass. And Ireland, after a face-off win, has demoralized Wales here. So Wales can look ahead knowing that they'll be playing with some house money and an opportunity to try to win this European Championship. They'll get into the top 5, being a group winner. And barring a massive upset at the hands of Sweden, ground ball will be picked up here by Owen Edwards. Edwards trying to protect the stick. Graham will find it and drop it off for Rosser. Rosser is sandwiched before he gets through. And we'll get a timeout taken by Wales with 1 remaining with 2:36 on the clock. So it's an Ireland team here that won 13-2 over Croatia. They have held Wales here to 2 goals. Very realistic that Wales may not score here. It's an Irish defense that appears to be very difficult to break down. Whoever is the other short stick D-midi, and I'll include the 4 poles, and then Sean Holland, who is the definite mainstay 1 D-midi, and the other midfielders have all been two-way guys that have alternated. But those 5, plus goalie Joe Walsh, have appeared like they're going to be extremely difficult to get to double-digit goals against anybody.
I would agree with that. I think that when you look at it, I wasn't so sure when they played Croatia. I was on that game. I happened to be on it. And Croatia didn't test them all that much. I mean, they got their 2 goals, but I was really waiting. I was expecting today, Wales to come out and have a great, strong offense. They've had, the man-down team for Ireland has been really, really strong today. Ofer, kept Wales. I mean, so I walk away from this game very impressed with the defensive side of the Ireland team. I think it's been sloppy offensively for both teams, but the defense, especially when you have a bad field, the offensive player knows where he's going. The defensive player doesn't necessarily know where he's going to be going, and the footing and trying to have the proper angles. They've done a great job. Active sticks, great on the ground balls, and really I walk away impressed with how Ireland's looked defensively.
And in this one of the 2 goals was a deflected pass thrown by Alex Williams off of the stick of Patrick McShane into his own goal. So there's only been 1 true goal scored by Wales in this one. And in a game, of course, you know how focused and motivated Wales is to defeat Ireland in any sport. A team entirely homegrown, knowing the meaning of this one and how determined they are But that's how well Ireland has played to stifle them. Chambers skipped across Stringer. Then the feed back for Chambers, a little away from him and out of bounds. And Wales out of the timeout will hit the 2-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Wales will try to regroup in a couple of days against Croatia. And then once they get into the knockout round, see if they can play their way into the top 7. Walsh with a timeout remaining for Coach Matt Curran. He's going to bail out his goalie. 1:44 left, and Ireland can start to think about managing this clock. And now for Matt Curran, can he get his offense to be humming a little bit better? That's the question for every coach here. The defenses are always going to be ahead of the offenses, but Connor Foley has performed well with 5 goals. He is the given individually, and the question will be, can Matt Curran get his team concept to accelerate? Like every coach is trying to accelerate faster than everybody else.
Sure, and I even find in the last under 2 minutes left in this game that they're going to look to go to the net here. They're going to look to move that ball. They want to work on some things. They want to have an opportunity to go through their offensive sets, to communicate with each other. So they will. I would anticipate them trying to go to the cage here. We often, when we do have these situations, it comes down to goal differentials depending on who advances. Ireland being 2-0 after today. Wouldn't have to worry about that as much, but you're always going to try to work through those things at the end of a game here. If you were maybe in a non-tournament situation, you might sit on the ball here, kill the clock, and look to go away, but I think that they'll look to call something and maybe put another one up there, try to get to double digits like you say.
1:44 remaining out of the timeout, and Ireland will start it outside the box. Both teams out of timeouts. Dempsey swings behind Liam Horkin. Look to drop it off for the cutting Foley.
Great defensive play right there for Wales. Number 8, Harry Perry, was all over Horkin. Try for that hinge pass.
Somerville swings for Horkin. Davey came out to test and challenge. Dempsey hits side ending on the open goal. Paul Chapman had the ground ball momentarily. Patrick Corbett recovers for Ireland as we're about to hit 1 minute. Foley dumps it off. Corbett off the fake. Corbett the layup. Ireland gets to 10. Corbett on the curl cut. Foley found him. And Ireland was able to win a ferocious battle for a loose ball behind. And that might be the final margin with 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, that was a great ground ball behind the net. Ireland sent 2 bodies to 1 from Wales. They came up with that ground ball behind. Corbett with it. Sort of cycled that ball, and then Foley found him. They have nice continuity together. They've worked together in previous tournaments. Foley found Corbett, and it was just him versus the keeper. He's going to finish something like that. He had enough time. He could have sat down, ate a sandwich before he finished, so I was glad that he was able to do that.
Palmieri wins the faceoff from Rosser, facing off for the first time. 50 seconds remaining. Ireland with Corbett. Looks for Holland. Holland provides the capper, 11-2. Well, Sean Holland has played a substantial role in the 2 games that Ireland has played, holding opponents to a combined 4 goals, and now he is rewarded for running the field.
He sure was. He's been really all over the field today defensively. He trailed that sort of break. Nice cut to the net, nice finish on the bounce shot, beating the goalie between the legs. Holland is someone who hasn't played lacrosse as much recently. Again, we mentioned he was a collegiate football player for 5 years leading up to this, so excellent to see. Great athleticism, nice goal.
Hallett back to face off for Wales. 42 seconds. And a loose ball push is called against Wales. Ireland has demoralized Wales today. The frustration that has boiled over from just the difficulties, kind of even starting early in the game, I thought, Marty. Wales just did not look comfortable trying to dodge and figure out who you can dodge against on this Ireland team, and then never made adjustments, and then that might have seeped into their abilities on the man-ups, I would estimate they probably ended up in the vicinity of 8 true man-ups that they were not able to convert. They will end 0 in this one. And meanwhile, credit the Irish defense. Joe Wall spearheading it with his 4 poles and Holland as the primary D-mini. They will go to 2-0 in these European Men's Lacrosse Championships, having conceded just 4 total goals over those 2 games. 11-2, Ireland defeats rival Wales today in Wrocław, Poland. Connor Foley leads the way with 5 goals and adds an assist. And the defense tremendous and smothering for Ireland, holding Wales to an 0 on many man-ups. That'll do it for our entire crew here. For our producer and cameraman, Mr. Mateusz Gwóźdź, for my partner Marty Horkin, my name is Ralph Bnorchik, saying thank you for watching the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championships from Wrocław, Poland, from Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV.
We honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
The Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
I'm here with Sean Holland after the Ireland versus Wales game. Big game today. How do you think it went?
Yeah, it went great. We started fast. That was one of our goals coming out of practice. And the big thing on defense was just communication. We really focused on communication last few practices. So that was definitely a high point. And I think we took it to them as the game went on.
And your defense was a big thing here, only letting them get 2 goals. How was it so good, honestly?
Yeah, we have so much confidence in Joe on the back end, kind of directing us around. So when he's talking and when we're all talking, helping him out, it's really easy playing with this group of guys.
And Wales versus Ireland, there's a lot of intensity going into this game. How did that make the game, change the play?
Yeah, it's obviously a big game. Every game is a big game in this in the pool play. So we were just trying to focus in, play hard, put our best effort, and then we got a big one against Sweden.
Awesome, thank you. That was Sean Holland after the Ireland versus Wales game where they won 11-2 on day 3, their second game. Thank you.
I'm here with Tomo Rosser of the Wales national team. Tomo, you were able to score the first goal for your team. How did the game unfold from there?
Well, looking at the scoreline, not very well. We dug in, they went I think 2 up, and then we managed to get 1 back. We thought we might have got a bit of momentum, but our D played really well, held them to about 7 goals for about 3/4 of the game. Unfortunately, we just weren't able to convert our chances. We're getting a lot of opportunities, we felt, but this Irish team are quite good. They have some really good individuals who, stood up today and won in the game.
Thank you. And now there's always a lot of emotion and intensity when Wales plays against Ireland. Can you tell me a little bit about that, and does it bring any pressure to the game, do you think?
There's always pressure and intensity when you're playing for Wales. It doesn't matter who we're playing against, to be honest. I think I've only played Ireland once, but every time we wear this, there's an element of pressure and passion, and for me personally, and I know for most of the boys, the passion just gets through us. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to drive us to victory today.
So there's still a chance for you guys to qualify. You guys got a day off tomorrow. What's going to put you guys in the best position going forward?
Look, we've just got to blank that out. That's done now. We lose games. What defines us is how we react to that. Yeah, is what happens next. If we mull on this and let this get to us, we may as well give up, go home now. Like you say, we got 1 day off. Best preparation, get our heads in gear. bit of mourning, and then tomorrow really focus on the Croatia game and let's qualify for the knockouts.
Thank you so much. Tomo Rosser here from Team Wales at the 2025 European Men's Lax Championships.
Thank you very much.